Hello and welcome to the third segment of our story and an article on the education and art in Athens. This is Ron Dittmars talking to you from the Erasmus Academy studios in Brooklyn, New York. And on the line we have Daniela. You want to say hello?
Hello.
Great. So our procedure is I'm going to be reading these sentences out loud, and Daniela will repeat them after me. And please repeat them with her or say them with her so you get the feel of the sound and the flow of the sentences. And then also to have an active understanding of the language. And then I'll ask her certain questions um, about the grammar to unpack the structure of the sentence and try to imagine in your own mind what the answers would be. And that way you can take part with us in deconstructing the sentences and then eventually being able to translate them as Daniela will translate after that, after those steps are taken. So we're looking at the Socrates ein Philosoph here, Socrates a philosopher, and this little information on the left-hand column about this image that you see on the screen. This is an amphitheater on the edge of the Acropolis in Athens. So let's read this out loud. Das Dionysos Theater, everybody,
Das Dionysos-Theater
wurde im 4. Jahrhundert vor Christus,
wurde im 4.
yeah,
Jahrhundert von Christus
that's right, in den Hang der Acropolis gebaut.
in den Hang der Acropolis gebaut.
Here's a directional accusative. So this theater was built into the slope of the Acropolis. So if you go up to the Acropolis in Athens and you get fairly high up, then you can go off, then you pass on the right side, the sloping way down to this, just as you see it in the picture here, the theater of Dionysius. Okay, and then later, später gestalteten die Römer es
Später gestalteten die Römer es
So this begins with Dionysius Theater was built into the slope of the Acropolis in the 4th century before Christ, or you could say 4th century BCE. And later the Romans, this is the subject, later the Romans umgestalten, which means to reform or renovated. The Romans reshaped it with S as the accusative. Okay, let's read the next sentence. And this is just listing the items here that you see under 1, 2, 3, and 4. Marmorsitze für die Vornehmen. Everybody?
Marmorsitze für die Vornehmen.
Yeah, a lot of or sounds. So this is marmor means marble. So marble places or marble seats for the privileged. Number 2, Platz für den Chor. Everybody?
Platz für den Chor.
A place for the choir, where the choir is. Platz für die Schauspieler. Everybody?
Platz für die Schauspieler.
Good. Place for the actors, and Bühne means the theater, the stage. Bühnenwand. Everybody?
Bühnenwand.
Number 4. This means the wall of the stage. Die Schauspieler waren Männer, die mit Masken auftraten. Everybody?
Die Schauspieler waren Männer, die mit Masken auftraten.
So what's the verb of the first clause, Daniela?
Waren.
Waren. So they were, and obviously Schauspieler, the actors, is the subject. Were men, predicate noun. Who? What's the antecedent for D?
Männer.
Männer goes back to Männer. Who appeared from auftreten. Auftraten is past tense. And this is a strong verb because the vowel changes from the present tense into the past. Who appeared with masks, and you know they spoke through their masks. You never saw their face normally, and the word persona is actually per means through, and sona means the voice. So the voice that comes through the mask is the persona, or what became our word personality, but characterized only by the sound of the voice. Not what you visualize. Very interesting. Then the last sentence. Das erzeugte eine beeindruckende Wirkung. Everybody?
Das erzeugte eine beeindruckende Wirkung,
Die durch die Gesänge des Chors noch verstärkt wurde.
die durch Die Gesänge des Chors noch verstärkt wurde.
Good. So where's the verb, main verb up to the comma? Daniela?
After the comma,
Before the comma?
before the comma, sorry. Erzeugte,
Erzeugte, yes. So that generated or that created. And then this is an impressive effect. And then what's the D refer back to?
Wirkung,
Die Wirkung, which, and then verstärkt wurde, which was even more noch, which was strengthened still or further through the songs of the chorus. Durch die Gesänge des Chors. Okay, so now we're going to go up to the top here. This was just a sort of anecdotally referring to this theater. So let's read the first sentence. Ein Steinmetz beeinflusste die jungen Athener allerdings durch seine Kunst. Up to there.
Ein Steinmetz beeinflusste die jungen Athener allerdings durch seine Kunst.
And where's the verb there in that sentence?
Beeinflusste.
Right, beeinflusste, good. And the subject is?
Ein Steinmetz.
Right, so a mason, ein Steinmetz. And what's the direct object?
Die Athener.
Yeah,
Athener.
the Athener. Notice the TH is pronounced like a T. That's exactly correct. So here you have your core sentence, and remember we're putting a box around the verb or the verb complex, underlining the subject, and putting a circle around the direct object. And this is a transitive verb, so it takes a direct object like indicated in this way. Okay, so so you want to translate that sentence?
Sure. A stonemason influenced the young Athenians, certainly through his art.
Good. Sie durch hartnäckiges Fragen zum kritischen Denken anzuregen.
Sie durch hartnäckiges Fragen zum kritischen Denken anzuregen.
So this sort of answers the question of what's set up in the first clause there. So a stonemason influenced the young Athenians through his art to do what? And here you have the answer anzuregen, to inspire. And then where's the direct object?
Sie?
Yeah, exactly, to inspire them. And who's the Z refer back to?
Die Athener?
Yeah, die jungen Athener, so the young Athenians. So here's your antecedent all the way back here, and this is the direct object of the verb. So influenced the young Athenians through his art to inspire them, and then you have here denken. Actually, fragen und denken are both infinitives made into nouns, so you translate those as gerunds, like asking and thinking. To inspire them through stubborn questioning to critical thinking. That's how that sentence is translated. Okay, so it really takes these steps in identifying first verb, subject, and then direct object, and then seeing also how these relative pronouns, what the antecedents are exactly, and so then it resolves itself. It opens itself up, and you see the theater of the of the sentence right before your eyes at the Dionysius Theater near the Acropolis. Okay, let's go on. Hieß Socrates, now we know who it is. Hieß Socrates, verweilte am liebsten auf dem Markt oder in den Gymnasien. Go ahead.
Hieß Socrates, verweilte am liebsten auf dem Markt oder in den Gymnasien.
And we'll skip there because we have to go over to the next page. So this comes from heißen, so it means that he is called or his name was, and this means he spent time. Am liebsten, this is a superlative, most preferably or most of all, or like whatever the action of the verb is, in the marketplace, and this is plural, or in the gymnasiums, you could say. Okay, so you want to translate that up to this point?
Sure. He was called Socrates. He most preferred to linger at the marketplace or in the gymnasiums.
Good. Okay. Now, and he involved the people. I'm just giving you what the next line is, but I have to skip over to the next page here, just with your patience. Um, and he involved people in ein Gespräch. This is a directional accusative right here. Right here, directional accusative. He involved people into in a conversation, or you say into a conversation. He brought them into a conversation. Let's go on from here, and we're going all the way down, just the first 3 lines, I believe, down to betrachten for this segment. Okay, let's go on. Von sich behauptete everybody,
Von sich behauptete
ich weiß, dass ich nicht weiß.
ich weiß, dass ich nichts weiß.
Good. Thank you for getting this S pronounced. I missed it. Ich weiß, dass ich nichts weiß. Wollte seine Zuhörer anregen, Vorurteile zu vermeiden.
Wollte seine Zuhörer anregen, Vorurteile zu vermeiden.
Good. Okay, so he maintained, this is behauptete past tense, he maintained von sich means from his perspective, more or less. Ich weiß, dass ich nichts weiß. I know that I know nothing, the famous quote from Socrates. And then in the next sentence, up to this point here, where's the main verb? The verb complex?
Wollte anregen.
Good. Wollte anregen. So he wanted to inspire, and then where's the direct object?
Seine Zuhörer.
Yeah, his listeners, direct object. He wanted to inspire his listeners to do what? Found with this complementary infinitive right here, to avoid, and then the direct object is Vorurteile, which is the prejudices. So do that whole thing. Maybe start with Ich weiß, dass ich nicht weiß.
I know that I do not know.
Well, I do.
Or that I know nothing.
Yeah, right. Go ahead.
He wanted to inspire his listeners to avoid prejudices.
Mhm. Und ihr Denken und Handeln selbstkritisch zu betrachten. Everybody?
Und ihr Denken und Handeln selbstkritisch zu betrachten.
Good. So this is comes off of this volta as well. So volta serves as the verb, conjugated verb for this construction. He wanted to inspire, to avoid, and he wanted his again taking this as the direct object. He wanted his listeners to observe, and where's the direct object, Daniela?
Ihr Denken.
Good. There.
Und Handeln.
And again, infinitives made into nouns, so you translate those as a gerund. And he wanted them, his listeners, to observe their thinking and their acting, and finish that.
In a self-critical manner.
Yeah, this is an adverb here. So you could say self-critically. That doesn't really sound too smooth in English, but in a self-critical manner is perfect. Okay, thanks so much for joining us. That's the third section, and come back for another session on Greek art. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.